All right, we are live, and I'm excited about this one. We have an amazing young lady. She's an 8th grader out of Ponte Vedra. I did that right, didn't I?
Yeah.
Ponte Vedra. I've been practicing that all day, everybody, so that I can get it right. She's Mary Manna. She's an 8th grader. She's been transitioning to wrestling now the last 2 years. She comes from the Jujutsu mat. I had the pleasure of meeting her at CFWA at a Mike Krause clinic, and I was like, "Wow, she's a badass. I'm gonna keep watching her." And then I think your mom posted something, or dad, and I shared it. And I was like, "Keep an eye on this one." And then come to find out, you watched the show. I was like, so now I was being the fangirl. I was like, "Oh my God, she likes me. Yeah. Oh, that's Jujutsu Mary. Oh." So that was cool. But man, this is one to keep your eye on, Florida. She's definitely a scrapper, and it was fun to meet her. And we got her on here today, and we'll tell her story. How are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You excited?
Mm-hmm.
Nervous?
Oh, but less nervous.
Less nervous now. All right, cool. Well, I'm just going on to Facebook here so I can share you with everybody, and everybody can get to meet you. But first of all, talk about that. I got to meet you over at the clinic with Mike Krause. I had him on the show again last night, talking about another clinic that he's bringing to Florida. But what an awesome! Was that your first time at a Mike Krause clinic?
It was my first time at a clinic. I remember he came once to a competition and did just a few minutes, and I was like, wow, this guy's really intense. But it was,
yeah, you're not kidding, right?
Yeah, he was like the little 5-year-olds, and he was like, "How old are you?" And they were all answering. He's like, "No, I want you to be old enough." And we were all.
How fun is he?
Yeah, he's awesome.
He keeps you engaged. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was definitely a good experience.
Oh yeah, if you could take one thing from any clinic you go to. Right?
Yeah, a lot of information, but I got a few good stuff.
Well, this is pretty cool. I'm going here. We're sharing you all over the place. We're going to tell everybody about you. So, first of all, you live up there in Ponte Vedra. You wrestle with the Sharks, right?
Yes.
And you've got a great coach that spends a lot of time with you, Doug Mariotto, right?
Yes.
What has the Sharks and Coach Mariotto meant to you and the growth of your wrestling the last 2 years?
They've meant a lot, because definitely the coaches took an interest in me, which was really, it was it was because I was the only girl there at first, so I wasn't expecting it, but they really went out of their way to help me. And Coach Doug, he does privates with me every weekend, and takes a lot of time analyzing my videos, and I really appreciate it. And the Ponte Vedra Sharks, their coaches too, like Coach Gonzalez, and now we have a new female coach, Coach Nadine too.
I was going to ask, because I wrote down, I saw you put a name, Nadine.
Yeah.
I'm going to totally mess. Fee.
Yeah, I think it's Nadine Fee, but I don't. I might be butchering it.
Nice. Well, that's good. That means you've got a lady in there working with you. Pretty cool. So pretty good club up there. They do a lot of big things. I always see the Ponte Vedra Sharks traveling around and competing.
Yeah, and the girls team grew a lot too, which is good.
Which is great, right?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Tell me, so you started fighting 5 years old, right? You were doing jujitsu.
Yeah, I started 5 years old. I did MMA for a little bit, and
then you kind of started competing when you were 8, right?
Yeah, that's when I started competing jujitsu at 8. That's my first one.
Wow. And then, what have you accomplished? What have you accomplished on the jujitsu mat? I know just this past weekend you had double gold, but what kind of big tournaments and stuff have you been able to go to as a jujitsu?
This is my first competition. I won at Baruch College. That one, I think I won gold at that one. And they were years ago, my first few ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to ask what do they call you guys? Like Jujukos, whatever the jujitsu guy. I don't know what they call, if you wrestle, you're a wrestler. If you do jujitsu,
yeah.
Like a Jujuko or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. But so coming from the jujitsu mat and transitioning to wrestling, what have been some of the hardest transitions for you? I know that with jujitsu, you know, your safe place is your back, right? But
Yeah, so
you
completely
go to
not.
your back on the wrestling mat, no bueno, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely like trying to get used to that. And in jiu-jitsu we have the gi, so it's like a fabric material. So the grips are a lot, easier and harder at the same time though. But in wrestling it's like you can't really grab the clothes obviously, so I had to get used to that. And the stance is different. Super low.
Now, I got to see you just this one time, and then I've been able to go. Your dad has several videos of you up on Instagram, and I was trying to do some Google to watch you. And man, your shots are something to watch. Is that something that you started doing in MMA and Jiu Jitsu, and now you've transitioned them to wrestling, or what have you had to
Yeah,
adjust?
when I was like a lot younger and I started jiu-jitsu, I did like a weird double leg, but it kind of worked. Now I've just been working on that and getting it more like explosive, and so.
Yeah, I mean, and I love the way you do your feints, and you kind of like tap the shoulder, tap the head, or whatever you're doing, and then as soon as you get some sort of movement, it's like boom, you're on them.
Yeah, I've been working on that too.
Yeah, that's nice. So, have you been enjoying the transition to wrestling? And you started competing on the national scene this year. You were able to place fourth at the qualifier for 32. You then went on and got to compete for the first time at 32. You know, talk about those experiences.
Yeah, so Super 32 qualifiers, it was my first freestyle competition. Actually, yeah. So I was walking into like a national state competition. It was my first time. So it was really good because I got to kind of see where I was at with the other girls and experience, freestyle and all the different rules.
What benefit do you think you have being that you started like MMA and Jiu Jitsu and then transitioned to wrestling? Do you recommend that maybe little boys and girls do some MMA and Jiu Jitsu before they get into wrestling, or would you say that's just what happened to you and it's benefited you?
I think it definitely benefited me because I kind of like had better control of my body, and like the positions were just easier because some of them I could relate to jujitsu or just more natural.
Now, does your dad or mom do jujitsu as well? Is that how you got into it?
Yeah, so my dad has been doing it for a long time, and he actually owns a jiu-jitsu school now.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
So my dad's been doing it for a long time. And then my mom just started recently. She'll do a few classes every now and then. So
that's because your mom wants to beat up your dad. Because that's what moms do. I still think that I can beat up my wife, but she just grabs the flip flop or something, and I give up.
That would be funny to watch them go. Yeah. I know sometimes I'll go with my mom, and I have to be careful though, because if I do anything too violent,
You don't want to hurt mom, right?
Yeah, don't want to hurt mom.
Yeah, she's not at your level yet, right?
No, but she's very strong.
What I guess it's belts, right? What color belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I'm a solid orange belt.
Wow, and how do the colors rank?
The color, everyone starts at white belt for kids, and then you get 4 stripes. Then you go to a gray and white belt. Then you get 4 stripes. Then you go to solid gray, and then 4 stripes. And then gray and black, 4 stripes, and then it goes like that again with yellow, and then orange and green, and then you go to like blue, and then there's purple. But you have to be a certain age to get to each belt, so it takes a long time.
Oh, that's good. So you can't just buy.
Yeah, it's not like a 9-year-old's gonna be a black belt,
So you can't just buy your way through the ranks.
No, yeah.
You really got to earn them.
Mm-hmm.
And is that universal as far as jiu-jitsu is concerned? You have to be certain ages?
Yes. Yeah, you have to be. There's like IBJJF is one of the biggest like jiu-jitsu. They have like tournaments and rule sets, and they have their like age limits. And so for like a black belt or a purple belt or blue belt, you have to be 16. And so it's kind of like a universal thing.
So which is why you're just sitting at orange right now, right? Because you can't go any
further. That's why.
Yeah. What do you think that you'll continue to compete in both, or do you think as you get into high school, you'll kind of give up jujitsu and just focus on wrestling?
I would like to compete at both still.
With your dad, when your dad has his own gym, I
Mhm.
guess you'll have opportunities that.
Yeah. But the jiu-jitsu ones are a lot less often. They're like they'll come every few months. Unlike wrestling, which is like every weekend. So I feel like I could still do both.
Oh, nice. Well, it's good that you want to. I know that I've talked to folks who, at a certain time, they were like, well, it's just tough, right? But I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know eventually one's going to have to be like a little more focused on one of them, but I still like to keep going with both of them.
Well, I'm sure either way, you're going to have a lot of success.
Thanks.
What, let's see here. What did I write down? Oh, yeah. So what's coming up next for you? The Southern Belle?
Yeah, the Southern Belle, which is I think the 27th, or the clinic too. And then,
are you going to go to the
I'm gonna go to the clinic.
The Gray Clinic?
Yeah, I have the clinic, and then the next 2 days are the competition. So yes. Training for that.
I should be there. They're going to set me up on the ground floor there with the show. So you'll have to come by, sit down. We'll go on live for like 5 minutes or something and shout you out. We'll do something. Have a good time. And that'll be good because I get to see you wrestle. So that'll be fun to watch.
A tough competition.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have one younger sister. She's 10.
And your dad already have her on the mat as well?
Yeah, she's doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu too.
Nice. So there's 2 of you coming up. Wow.
We're trying to get her to compete though. She doesn't like competing a lot.
No. Does she think she can take you yet?
No. Sometimes she'll joke around, and then my dad will put us together to go, and then she's like, she'll start being a baby.
So, how do you feel when you're beating up the boys?
It feels good. I mean, like sometimes because they don't expect it, which makes it even better because like sometimes the boys will just look at me kind of and they'll be like, or they'll just go into it thinking that's going to be easy, which really bothers me.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had one time there was this kid and he just started like staring, like looking at me, and he took his hoodie off and like started tossing it on the floor and being like a tough guy. And then I ended up pinning him. So.
And that's awesome. Right? Well, listen, I only saw you at the clinic, but it looks like when you're on the mat, it's all business. Because even at that clinic, you were going 100%. I mean, there was no. I feel like when you get on the mat, you feel like you have to prove something.
Yeah, definitely being a girl, especially when I go with the guys, because,
They don't expect that, huh?
Yeah, they just kind of, I don't know. They're just not, there's like not a disrespect for the girls, but it's just kind of like, there's not enough respect, I would say.
Liz Monalonga. I hope I said that right. Liz Monalonga?
Yeah, Monalonga.
So proud of you, Mary. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's my aunt.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Aunt Liz. All right. So wrestling the last 2 years, where do you think you can take this? How good do you think you can be, and what are your goals in high school?
Well, in high school, I definitely want to win a state championship. And I talked to like Coach Doug about it too, and he was saying his goal for me would be my sophomore year to win one. But I definitely want to try to do my freshman year and try to get like a consecutive. I mean, I really want to get a national championship. That's like the big goal.
Nice. Now, have you started doing, I know you just did that first freestyle tournament. Have you started to practice freestyle more now?
Yeah, we're doing more freestyle. And like now we have Coach Nadine too, and she comes from a freestyle background. So over the summer, we trained a lot with her, and she taught us a lot of throws, and that's good.
Which is really good because when I talk to some of like the college preparatory women's coaches, and I talk to women that are at the college level and at the world level, they wish they would have started freestyle earlier at an early age, and they would have been able to do it more because once you get from high school to the next level, that's what the girls are doing, right? So it's good that you're getting it in now.
Yeah, I hope they make high school freestyle for girls because then it'll be, you can train it. If you want to wrestle in college, it'll be easier to transition.
Yeah, and I've asked a few coaches that, but obviously there's a lot of value to learning the folk style, I guess.
Yeah.
Even with having to go to freestyle, I guess there's a lot of different things there that I guess would help. Having an MMA Jiu Jitsu background is probably similar. So
yeah.
You probably already, your stance, things like that are probably already pretty solid, right?
Yeah, definitely helps.
So I'm reading my notes. All right. So it'll be exciting, that big Southern Belle tournament. Two days. Plus you got the Geneva Gray wrestling clinic.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And this is going to be cool because they're finally putting this is going to be like the girls' version of Knockout.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
And you decided to go Southern Belle instead of middle school.
Yeah, I decided to do. I think it's good. It's better though because I get more. It's like more challenging, and
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're wrestling with girls that you're probably going to see as you start to grow into high school and stuff. And so, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited for high school. It's gonna be tough. I'm excited to go, and like I've gone with some girls who I know I'll see again, like at Sunshine Nationals, 9th graders or 10th graders.
How'd you do at the Nationals?
At Sunshine, I think I went 4. I think I won 4 and lost 5, somewhere around there.
There was some tough company because you had the Florida All-Stars, Michigan All-Stars, Wyoming Seminary, right? I mean, there was
it was a lot of tough competition, and they had us verse two of the same teams both days, or like 2 of the same teams twice. So on the first day, I went against a really good girl. I forgot her last name, but Claire, and she was on.
Claire Bowie.
I think so.
She's a Florida girl, right?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I wrestled her the first day, and she was really good. And then I wrestled her the second day. Both days she beat me. Yeah,
she is really good. Yeah, she's one of the top girls in our state. But that's good because you got to feel them.
Yeah.
I guess what do coaches say? Like, you get to feel their hands on you. You get to see how they move. You get to see where the best are at, where you got to get to. Like you said, you got to wrestle the girl from Wyoming Seminary. You got to watch the Blade Sisters.
Yeah.
You got to see Florida's Best, which is awesome. We got to see Hannah Hall sign with McKendree. That was pretty cool. What is it like being around the older girls? Are they really good at mentoring and teaching and helping out the younger girls?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the older girls were like on the team. Because I'm like the youngest one out of all of them. So they kind of, they help me a lot, and they just really, they kind of go out of their way to be like extra nice and extra, pay more attention to me and help me out. So
that's great. And that was the one thing that I said I really loved by watching the girls at the Sunshine Duels. You saw a lot of that. You saw a lot of the older girls mentoring the younger girls, all the way down to the 10-year-old girls. How fun was it watching those girls scrap?
Yeah, the small, that was fun.
And they weren't just like headlocking and throwing, right? They were like scrambling and rolling and picking each other up. I mean, it was fun to watch.
And they were so young. I was like, imagine what happens when they get to middle school or high school.
Yeah. Are you over there like sneaking one of your dad's business cards into their bag, right? Like, go see my dad at the jiu-jitsu room.
No, he'd probably want me to do that though. Good idea.
Yeah, great idea. For those who don't know, Dad's got a jiu-jitsu place up there, right? So if you're interested in getting into that sport, hit him up, right? John Manis, yeah. John Manis, yes. Sorry, Dad, I didn't remember that right away. Well, I've got some really cool stuff. How are we doing so far? I'm trying not to make you nervous.
No, I'm good.
We're getting through it? All right, perfect. So talk about, you have some coaches. You said Nadine Fee. I know you talked about Doug Mariotto and what he's meant to you. What does it mean now to have Nadine around and starting to kind of incorporate freestyle and work with the girls and grow that part of the program.
Yeah, it's great because I mean, obviously, like you said, I have Coach Doug and the other coaches, but to have a female coach is way different. And I mean, obviously, she's special. Like her freestyle is her thing, which the coaches aren't really like. She's more familiar with it, and she kind of knows. She knows like the girls' struggles and what works better for them and all that. So.
Yeah, it's not, and that's what I hear from a lot of the girls that had to come up on a boys team. They don't regret it. I mean, wrestling boys benefited them, but it's nice to have other girls around just to talk about the girl thing.
Yeah,
right?
and it's nice to know she's like in your corner, to have.
Yeah, that's my girls. Don't mess with them, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. Rear naked choke or front headlock?
Rear naked choke.
All right, cinnamon toast crunch or tricks?
I love them both. I'm gonna say tricks.
And then you can say both. There's no rules to the game, so we're just having fun.
I know. My mom is like, she wants super healthy and she doesn't really get cereal anymore. But like when I hear those, I'm like, oh,
so now you're like, I've got to eat Wheaties. And
yeah.
All right, arm bar or arm throw?
Arm throw.
Ah, a little wrestling love right there. All right, good. Milkshake or smoothie?
Milkshake.
What's your go-to flavor?
I like just vanilla or like salted caramel ice cream milkshake.
Salted caramel is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something about salty and sweetie that I like too. Salty and sweetie. Did I just say salty and sweetie?
Yeah, salty and sweetie.
Salty and sweetie. That's funny. All right, leg lock, ankle pick.
I don't really do leg locks. I'm gonna say ankle pick.
All right. Onion rings or French fries?
Fries.
All right. Half or cradle?
Half.
Half. All right. Peanut butter cups or gummy bears?
Peanut butter cups.
Out of the freezer, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back. I put this down because every time I've watched you wrestle in a video, you've used this. So back heel trip or high C?
Probably the back heel trip.
Every time I'm watching a video and you grab a kid, you hit that right away.
Yeah, I like that one.
All right, ChickFilA or Wendy's?
ChickFilA.
It's like automatic.
Mm-hmm.
I had ChickFilA today. We've been quarantined to the house for a week, and we finally got out to the doctor's office to get checked, and we came back negative. So yes, all of us. So we stopped at ChickFilA. The kids were like, "We're out of the house, ChickFilA, come on!" So
yeah,
like, oh, let's do it.
And back in the north, they don't have ChickFilA, like, because I'm from New York.
Nice. What part of New York?
Queens.
Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I had my buddy was living in Queens. He's back down in Miami Beach now, but there's some good. I've talked to a few people that are out in the boroughs there that have some good wrestling clubs up there.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been down here now?
I've been down here since 6th grade, so like a little over 2 years around there.
Nice. Liking it? Miss New York?
Yeah, I like it. The only thing I miss in New York would be family, but other than that, I like it here better.
And hopefully we can get through this whole coronavirus thing and we can start to travel and go see family.
Yeah.
Are you guys going up there for the holidays?
No, we're going to stay here, but because if we go there, there's not really much we can do. Kind of stay in the.
Yeah, New York is pretty locked down, right?
Yeah, it's not very good right now there.
Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed being on the show, and you're always welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And when I'm at the Southern Belle and the Knockout and the Middle School Championships, Yeah, come by.
Yeah.
Jump at the table. We'll go live. We'll talk about your next match or whatever. We'll do it real quick, and we'll go through it again. Next time you won't be so nervous because I know this dude now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a selfie. We'll be like, selfie. I'll shout out Jujutsu Mary. I'll be like, shout out Jujutsu Mary, and we'll post on IG or something. We'll do something crazy. All right. Hey, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell your mom and dad I appreciate them letting me have you for 25 or 30 minutes or however long this was. And you're an absolute pleasure. And I love watching you wrestle. And definitely, it was just a pleasure to see how much energy you brought. It was just practice. And you were there just bringing it. So I can't wait to watch you live on a match at the event. And I'm excited to see what you do. And I'm a fan. So I'll be following you. I'll be writing down Mary Manis and where's she at this weekend? I'm going to see what she's doing. So, climb that ladder, girl, and keep doing it.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.